Audio Jungle.
Good to see you on another edition of Bystanders of Newsstands on Hike+Fg. Of course, you know, Michael is still keeping his real with you right here at the newsstand in Ogba. Quickly to what we have on today's edition of this program with Daily Sun and the Punch newspaper. A very good one here. Anger in National Assembly over fuel price, electricity tariff hike. Anger in National Assembly over fuel hike and electricity tariff hike. TUC kicks. Nationwide protest looms as CUPP mobilizes civil society. Nationwide protest looms as CUPP mobilizes civil society. Motorists, commuters groan. Commuters groan over the hike in fuel price. On to the next one, COVID-19. Federal government okays gradual reopening of schools. Federal government okays gradual reopening of schools. Curfew now between 12 and 4 a.m. in Abuja, Lagos. Edo Guba judge withdraws from suit seeking disqualification of Izeyam. International flights resumption. Federal government bans Lufthansa, Air France orders from Nigeria. Federal government bans Lufthansa, Air France orders from Nigeria. Okay, moving down to another story here. Up the paper, we have security agents killing our members secretly. IPOB alleges security agents killing our members secretly. IPOB, that's the indigenous people of Biafra, alleges. Quickly to the Punch newspaper. A punchy one here. Further petrol price hike likely. Further petrol price hike likely. That's likely to happen. Marketers warn Nigerians. Marketers warn Nigerians. TUC says government action wicked. TUC, that's the Trade Union Congress, says government action wicked, demands immediate reversal. We can no longer fund petrol subsidy, says federal government. Water bill hearing. SANS order one reps against illegality. 17 vigilantes killed. 23 bandits gone down in Niger. Okay, quickly to the picture we have here. We have some pictures. Filling stations showing the adjustments in fuel prices in Lagos, Abeokuta. Filling stations showing the adjustments in fuel prices in Lagos and Abeokuta. Okay, you can see the pictures on the front page of these journals. You can see NNPC filling station and vehicles being parked at some filling stations right here on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Of course, you know our reviewers are here to express their views on these topical issues. Let's join them for more thoughts. I'll be right back. We had the issue of electricity tariff. We had the fuel price increase, which Nigerians are not really happy with. Of course, on the front page today, motorists are lamenting over the new hike in fuel pump price. That's not the only issue we'll be discussing today. But let's quickly touch it. The Trade Union Congress has come out to condemn this act, saying that government's action is wicked. Now, don't you think there should be a sort of reflection by the government on this issue?
Well, thank you, Mr. Mike. I will start by introducing myself. I'm a native of Umaobe in Isekenese, Idato South, in Imo State of the so-called deposed Nigeria. Why I said that is that my name is Chigozie, a Jewish Christian. Frankly speaking, without missing words, Nigeria is headed for the cliff. What is ahead of Nigeria is destruction. Nigeria, state or nation, is under judgment. There's nothing short of that. And there will not be remedy until the distortion is perfected. I tell you the truth. You can quote me anywhere. I don't care. I don't bloody care. But from the realities unfolding, the pics, there is no ambiguity. There is no, state confusion in the reality on ground. The handwriting on the sky depicts that judgment is imminent, and of course, everybody will be part of this judgment. As far as you believe in Nigeria, as far as you still maintain that position of which Nigeria have ever maintained. So, of course, I'm not surprised the hike of commodities have just within few days have skyrocketed. And that depicts food insecurity for the teeming masses within this contraction called Nigeria. You can see that even the commuters, transporters, of course, will take undue advantage of this. And virtually every sector, of course, will be ripped off. It's unfortunate. This is a man, the so-called Buhari, is a man who engaged in protests during Jonathan time, 2012. You see, he was against incrementing fuel. And about 2014, when Jonathan wanted to remove subsidy, the same group of people went to the streets to protest against that. But this is a man, even the Jagaban, the Tinubu, the Bakare, Tunde Bakare, and the Soyinka, Wole Soyinka, and other so-called prominent Nigerians could not hold their emotion, could not hold their voice. But where are those people now? They have gone into abysmal decline. They have gone into hiding. You see, they could not speak against this injustice, this cruelty, this state of wickedness being perpetrated by this administration. Nobody is talking. And if you talk, they will come and take you off. And I don't care about that. I stand in defense of humanity. I stand in defense of justice. Nigeria could no longer bear this brunt, this level of injustice. It is telling on us, and of course, it's all boiling down to the distortion that is very imminent. Because people are going to revolt, and when people become so desperate, the greatest army to be afraid of is any man in the state of desperation, because he will not restrain from anything available to him to make sure that he gets you out of his way. Use main mention of government. Do we have government? A government that's over 150 million of our citizens are in extreme poverty. And there is nothing being done by the said government to cushion the effects of this extremity in poverty. In the state of, it's quite unfortunate. And look at the hike of things. And the same government is still ripping off the people. Look at the resumption of school, of course, a government that does not care for her citizens. It is not a surprise if facilities will not be put in place to ensure the safety return of our students, of course, which are supposed to be the future generation of this country. The government never cares, and I don't want to continue in that nonsense, because I know that, of course, the country is no longer at ease, and things have fallen apart. And for me, it is the way forward is seeing the split of this country, either by peaceful means or, of course, of what is before us. So that is my position.
Right, thank you so much. Some bodies have called for a nationwide protest on this topical issue that is bothering the minds of every Nigerian. And what's the issue? The hike in commodities. The fuel hike, the electricity tariff hike. Now, do you support that motion?
It's understatement to support it, to say that I support it. We need it most now. in 2012, when Jonathan removed subsidy. Actually, in 2012, when Jonathan removed subsidy, I didn't go against removing of subsidy. Maybe I was able to see beyond maybe above average people that are surrounding me. Now, it's not only fuel subsidy that we are going to protest. Increase all around in electricity tariff, in petroleum. Before this time around, I usually say, why people may not protest removing of subsidy? I have two reasons then. Number one was that Jonathan has fought the battle of subsidy to some extent. Yeah, people have been aware of what they call. Some people don't even know what they call subsidy before, until when we hear it from him. So he has fought that battle, almost won it. So when the issue of it come back again, well, it's not, probably not new to people. And number two, to some extent, APC was able to convince us in 2011, where I was included, some gullible Nigeria to make us trust Buhari that is a trustworthy person. So when they even talk of subsidy, people would think that, well, if we are going to save money, our money is the unsafe. However, what I just said, I don't see any reason to support that one now. It's what we have seen on ground. So let's move away from subsidy of petroleum. What about electricity tariff? What about food commodity? Why everything skyrocket? You see, I was talking to myself, thought of recent that, okay, let's look at it like this. Every government downward from maybe 1970 to 80 to 90s, when you look at the price of the things during the regime, it's usually been increased. As government is coming down, you will see the increment. When Abacha was there, petroleum was, I think it was 11 naira. We know how much it was before Obasanjo left it. That was for petroleum. What about other things? How much was bag of rice before Obasanjo came in? How much was it before he left? But coming to this Buhari, it's not only increasing, it was flying. The price is flying. It's not about increment. We are not talking, this is not increment. Like 100%. I mean, the price is skyrocket. Look at the price of bag of rice. From maybe 8,000, 8,500, 9,000 naira to 20. Now in Kano now they are crying because of increment in the price of rice, bag of rice. Why? Increment in the price of gari. Okay, we are importing rice. Are we importing gari? We are not importing gari that is made in Nigeria here. What costs it is what Buhari should come and tell us and address it, so that if people want to protest. In fact, this administration, they deserve more than protest. I don't know what to do again. If there's something more than protest, people should do it because we are dying. I'm telling you, before you call Jack Robinson now, this petroleum price, it will affect everything. Economically, it will affect everything. Our transport fare, even including the drinks, the fruit, everything will still be.
Even motorists start complaining.
The price will still be skyrocket.
The gradual reopening of schools is another issue which we really need to look into. Of course, you know the way schools or school students operate whenever they're in their various schools. Now, what should government do to mitigate the spread of coronavirus in schools?
Don't mind our government. They are the one that sabi. To me, before I usually been the vanguard of say people should take measure of coronavirus. Well, with what I'm seeing on ground now, I don't know how you will convince Nigerian, a grassroots Nigerian that is one stupid corona somewhere. When you are doing campaign in Nedo and they don't maintain social distancing, nobody covered nose mask. Everybody was done doing jamboree, and you are now saying people should observe one social distance in secondary school or in university. They will tell you, what about people in Nedo? What is happening in Kogi when they say there is no coronavirus, and we have never heard any case in Kogi State? But what I would just say is this: there's nothing concern me about government. I want to address students and parents. When you reach school, if they say you should observe social distance, please, because as I'm seeing this coronavirus, it's like coronavirus is operating in the atmosphere and in the higher hierarchy, and resuming and the opening of the international flight may endanger our something, because even if it is not real in Nigeria, it's real over there. So people that are coming in, there is nothing desperate Nigeria cannot do to buy their way. There will be, let me tell you, there will be influx of this coronavirus again. Immediately international airport open. So I want to advise everybody at home, both the parents and the students, when those newcomers come, please, even if they satisfy them, they don't have coronavirus, give them your social distancing for like 14 days before you go near them. I'm sorry to say this one, please. The average Nigerian, the poor one that are managing to eat pomo and pala, don't add coronavirus to it. Please stay safe. When you reach school, your children, tell them that when you reach school, don't go and mingle with all those spoiled brats that went to contract coronavirus in the UK and US and run come back home to come and infect you. They have money to treat themselves. Right. They will go to one stupid cardiologic hospital there. You don't have it. So beware.
For me, sir, in this country, I've already tired. Everything have tired me. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to stand. But my own aim this morning, I beg anybody where that's all right, is it Muhammad Buhari, I beg everybody, please allow Nigeria to be divided. Let Nigeria be divided. Let Yoruba go their own. Hausa and the Arimajiri herdsmen, they on their own. Igbo, other people, they on their own. I beg. If the best thing that you do now as a president of this country, because I've never heard any good history from you since I was born, as you are ruling in this country as the head of state, I've never heard any good news about Buhari. Oga, please, beg, we Nigeria youth are begging you this morning. Please, if you know you cannot rule the country, Mr. President, resign. There are capable people that will take Nigeria to greater heights, that will give us what we want. It's not by waking up in the morning. What you want, that is what you do, not what the masses want. And you will tell us that you are ruling the masses. Why will you increase fuel? The same fuel that you can pay for, that you make fuel go to 45 naira. The same fuel that you make, you bring money to sponsor people to protest in Ojota against Jonathan. The same fuel that you say that Jonathan is not capable of ruling this country, you take Nigeria to greater height. The same thing is happening under your watch. Then you are a failure. If nobody want to tell you, we youth will tell you, you are a failure to this country. And only one thing you do that we will like you again. What you do, Mr. President, resign. Let Nigeria move on. If you cannot handle the situation, resign. Yes, because all this issue going on in this country, everybody don't tire. Because if we get to what make S-men to carry gun did not reach what we are passing through. The S-men where you they support, one are they support. They carry gun to fight. What they are fighting for self, we don't know the reason. They are just fighting because they want to use bush, but we want to eat. In work we are doing, nothing is moving. People don't have money. How do you think people that have handwork, nothing is moving? You think that we are happy? And you sit down there, increase fuel. Okay, now transport from here to Jodu, you know how much? Transport from here to Ikeja, do you know how much? And you sit down there, increase fuel, increase this one. Food, no problem. People that give birth to children, nothing to write home about. I beg, Mr. President, I beg you. October 1st, all the youth that want to fit talk, you come out and protest. Revolution now is what we want for this country, right, to make Nigeria better before. So that's what I thought. Let everybody come out.
Good morning, Mr. Mike. I'm Matthew once more. The issue of opening our airspace for flight to start coming in. Well, to an extent, I think is a threat. But if you look at it from the other angle, I think there is something we are yet to understand about this pandemic. Because if you look at the trajectory of this pandemic globally, the spike, whether in Nigeria or elsewhere, is not on the increase. So I think going by that, I think there is more areas that is not yet understood about this virus. I'm saying it because I don't think in Nigeria, for instance, In Nigeria, for instance, there is no, the citizens have never in any way, any time observed all the non-pharmaceutical measures that will mitigate the spread. If you now open the airspace, if actually the thing existed here before, and the thing could not spread, even when people were not maintaining or observing the non-pharmaceutical measures to mitigate the spread. So I don't see any reason, any difference. I don't see any difference it will make whether you open our airspace or not. Except otherwise, the government is hypocritical about it. If there were no coronavirus in Nigeria before now, and they made us to believe and mislead the public that it existed, that is when opening the airspace become a threat. But if actually it existed before now, opening the airspace would not make any difference. And I think God is the one mitigating the spread. I don't think it's by human effort.
God is the one mitigating the spread in Nigeria or in the world?
Globally.
Globally.
I cannot fail to remember what Adeboye said. He said God told him before the pandemic that he's going to put the whole world on compulsory holiday. That when he has achieved his purpose, that the thing will ease out.
And
if you look at the trend globally, you know that it's no longer human effort. The thing is naturally easing out. I think that is what the way I see it.
So you are looking at it from the spiritual angle.
Definitely. You cannot do God out of it. Because the best of nations have tried their best. If the spike was going the way we witnessed it from the onset, by now the whole world would have been submerged in crisis.
And do you think the God has worked in Nigeria?
Globally, God is,
in terms of mitigating
God is God of the whole earth. The earth and influence thereof is the Lord. That is the standard of the word of God. It's not just a God for Nigeria. He's the creator of heaven and earth.
Okay.
He's working for everybody.
Now, the gradual reopening of schools is another issue of interest. Now, we witnessed governments during the total lockdown, the way Nigerians suffered in that era. Now, reopening of schools is something that is bothering the minds of Nigerians. How do you think government can reduce the spread of the disease among students?
I don't think the thing is spreading again. Let me tell you something, Mr. Mike.
Okay.
If you look at the rate at which states are testing, recently, federal government was expressing worry, presidential task force on this COVID-19, that the states, the rate at which they are testing have dropped. Everybody is demoralized. The demoralization is because the thing is not spreading. Personally, I believe that it exists, but it is evident that the thing is not spreading. Because if it is spreading, we will see it in our daily lives. We see it in the hospitals. We see the evidence. Actually, the thing came with a lot of threat, a lot of fear, but that fear has been allayed because the thing have not actually spread the way the way we see it in other places in the world, like America, Italy, and some other places. The death rate, the mortality rate we recorded here is not much compared to a place like America.
Now, we've discussed the hike in prices of commodities, and we're still going to talk about, we are still discussing it today. Now, what effect do you think this will have on the common man? Because now, the motorists, this is what they use to get their money, their daily earnings. Without fuel, they can't move, no mobility, no vehicular movement. What effect do you think this will have on them? And the people running their businesses with fuel.
You see, our government is unfortunate. Most times they are hypocritical. PMS, Premium Motor Spirit, has multiplier effect in our economy. So before you tinker with it, you ought to put so many indices into consideration. But definitely, it will trickle down to almost every other strata of the economy. So I think it's a wrong move. But to be quite honest with you, in any good economy, the right thing to do is to deregulate the sector completely. Why did I say so? So that demand and supply will drive the process. But I have that at the back of my mind as somebody who understands how economy works. But I tell you that in Nigeria, I can never support it. Why? The reason is not far-fetched. because all the money we entrust into the hands of all these government officials, they mismanage it. So what is the guarantee that if you now free that money that are using for subsidy, you want to plug it back into the economy, what's the guarantee that it will not be mismanaged? My understanding is that any area the citizens are benefiting by way of subsidy, whether by way of tariff subsidy, whether by way of PMS subsidy, I think the government should sustain it, because Nigerians have been paying, have always been on the receiving end. Look at it, our economy is technically in recession. For the second consecutive quarter, Nigerian Bureau of Statistics have come up with their data that we have recorded second consecutive GDP negative growth. We are technically in recession. If this coming quarter we see record negative GDP growth, they will declare Nigerian economy as we are in recession. What does that tell you? An economy that's already stifled to this extent, you are still bringing hardship on the economy. Normally, what a reasonable government does in terms of crisis, economic crisis, is you spend your way out of recession. You spend money to do infrastructural development. By so doing, you are injecting money into the economy. So instead of doing that, the government is busy bringing policy that is harsh on the people. Globally, governments are looking for ways to ameliorate the standard of living for their people, to cushion the impact of COVID-19 on their citizens. But here we are in Nigeria, instead of government doing that, they are bringing hardship on the people. Let me tell you this, Mr. Mike. Look at the 774,000 jobs the government talked of. Because these jobs were meant for the downtrodden, the ordinary man on the street. Look at the policies at play. Up to today, it has not seen the light of the day. I pray the project will see the light of the day, so that the downtrodden, the common man will still benefit from it. Thank you very much.
My name is Samson David. I actually want to buttress the point my big uncle made here, Pastor.
Okay.
He talked about 774 jobs, okay, in which were supposed
774,000 jobs.
Yeah, in which were supposed to be shared among the common masses. I mean the less privileged. Now, do you know that these jobs have been hijacked by the so-called governors, by the National Assembly? A senator has about 40 slots. Who does he want to give it to? Still to his age.
That's the job that is meant for masses.
Job, and then what does this job entails? Just to clear drainage, to strip the roads, and to make and to construct what drainage. Still, our National Assembly and our so-called governors still could not take off their eyes off these petty jobs. So what is left for the common man? It means Nigeria as it stands is sitting on the what? On the time bomb. Now, back to the issue of school resumption. Mr. Mike, to me, I feel the greatest fear of every Nigerian now, the greatest fear, and I start to be collected, is what hunger. I am even more scared of dying hungry than me
being infected with a disease,
being infected with their so-called COVID-19. Let them bring any COVID-19 patient. I will hold the person, kiss the person, dine and wine with the person, because this thing you are saying, it is not real here in Nigeria. Because there was lockdown. Someone who said he said that this virus has now spread to our communities. But did you see it in your community? I have never seen anyone being infected or being down with this spread. So see, tell me, why should I be afraid of something I'm not seeing? So to me, I think COVID-19 in Nigeria, it is not being real. It is being what? Politicized. Because you don't know someone that has COVID-19. He doesn't know anybody that has COVID-19. He doesn't know anybody. Go to Island. No one is being infected. Go to Ikeja. You will not see anybody. Go to Ekpe. Go to every nooks and crannies in this Nigeria. It is only government. So tell me, why should I be scared? I am even more scared of hunger, because now, as it stands, I have not eaten. So COVID-19 is not even my own case. See, when I come to COVID-19, I am not scared. Let them come to isolation center. Let them, Buhari, take me to isolation center. I will shake the person that has COVID-19.
And now,
I will still dine and wine with someone that has COVID-19.
And now that the airspace will be reopened, don't you think the influx of people into Nigeria will pose more threats.
That is where government has a major role just to come in, because for them to have any people coming into the country should be checkmates, should be what in isolation for good 14 days. That is where government should play roles of what endangering our lives, curtailing those that have the spread from coming into the country. That is where government should live up to that responsibility. But see, as it stands now, nobody has COVID-19 now. Everybody is going about our daily basis, our jobs. Nobody is even putting on nose masks, air masks, nothing again. And then, Mr. Mike again, I have not said anything. You are saying all right. And from the issue of the pump price, Mr. Mike, if people were be able to project into the future, and God should send me down to Nigeria, there is no point of me coming to Nigeria. I would have personally asked God, please take me back to heaven. When the time is due, that won't take me to either US or Canada. A country in which our president increased, if you see the 2020 budget, if you look at the 2020 budget, our president increased his own feeding inside the villa. So why is he now plunging Nigerians into hardship? This is not the time. This is not the time for any sensible government to increase any commodity, either tariff, BU, recharge card, any commodity, because one, fuel, our fuel, it has our fuel price has what multiple effects on the economy. So this is not the right time. A president, this is the same man that condemned subsidy, and this is the same man that has paid subsidy for a donkey of years. So it shows our president is too incompetent. Let him wake up. And then again, now October 1st, I want to appeal to every Nigerian. It is not the time to start saying, "You not affect me, it affects me, it not affect you." I'm a Biafran. Let us come out en masse and join the revolutionary movement. That is my thing.
All right, thank you.
Anger everywhere. Nigerians are, annoyed over the increase.
Even in the National Assembly, there is anger.
There's anger over there because of the hike. Yeah. Yes, it's too bad. This is not the right time to do this kind of thing. He promised us 20 naira per liter. He says he's going to bring down the former price to 20 naira. Now he has increased it with 131 naira. Let's say 141 naira. I learned from the NNPC, they buy 151, then they sell 160 now to the members of the public. So Michael,
160, 162.
Yeah, 160, 162. So it's getting too much. My brother, let me tell you, there's anger in the land. Nigerians are angry. And I'm telling you, TUC, Trade Union Congress, they are not taking it lightly with the government.
Against it.
Yeah, they are kicking against it, and surely they are going to shut down this system. I'm telling you, by this time next week, maybe there will be another lockdown. That one will be industrial lockdown. Apart from a pandemic lockdown, we are going to face industrial lockdown, and that's what Buhari government is pushing for all along.
And this might even ground all this small-scale business.
Yes, it's going to ground small-scale businesses. You understand, to zero level.
Zero level.
Yes, because why should you hike fuel price? When tomato, pepper, everything has gone high, food, everything. You find out that to buy anything in Nigeria, virtually the price is doubled now, over 200% increase because of the COVID pandemic, COVID-19.
Whatever,
You understand? So you're not hiking price, fuel price. It's not good. Fuel price is supposed to come down.
Come down.
We are the owner of this oil. This oil, we are not buying it from Ghana, Togo, or Benin Republic. It is our natural resources. We are the owner.
Knowing fully well that when you increase fuel price, it's going to affect other activities.
I'm telling you, we are the owner of this black gold. We have it here in our land. Why should these monkeys in Buhari regime lift the price again? These people are monkeys. Mike, it's just like you cultivate granite, your land is fertile for that cultivation, and you are still hiking the price of granite. When you produce granite, is it not insanity? We are the owner of this oil. Britain is not giving it to us. America is not giving it to us. Nobody gives Nigeria oil. Our oil is our natural endowment. So I don't see the reason why the price should be going high. It shouldn't be the major topic now. I'm telling you. What comes to my mind, let me tell you. Nigeria need to go. Every day, argument. As Fela said, them they argue every day on daily basis. The only solution is let everybody go their ways, separate ways. Let Hausa man carry his low mentality, go. Yes, go to the north there. Let Yoruba man dey his own side. Make Igbo man dey his own side. What is all this madness?
Would that settle the whole situation?
No need. You can't settle.
No. I
60 years. Okay.
Disintegration you're talking about.
Okay, disintegration. Yes. I was thinking maybe you're talking about settlement.
We didn't settle the whole situation.
When the handshake passes the elbow, it has become another thing. Anytime someone sleeps and fails to wake up 4 days time without being under support, machine support, maybe psychotherapy or whatever, let me tell you, it is death. So a 60-year-old problem, unsettled, no. It's there forever. So let me tell you, the only answer is disunity, disintegration. Let us divide. Let Igbo man feel Igbo land. Let Hausa man carry his cow, go and fill northern land. Let Yoruba man maintain his international water here and manage his resources peacefully. Right. We don't need to be arguing every day. Are we fools? Me, I know be Mugo. If all of you are Mugu, I'm not Mugu. I see that those people in the house, they are Mugu. They are taking us to be Mugu. Our Mumu never do. We are still Mumu. This one Charlie boy is just carrying about. Our Mumu don't do. No, we are still Mugu. Why should we be arguing on one topic? Every day, Mike. Everybody. Hausa man misunderstand Yoruba man. Igbo man is seeing Hausa man from another. Hausa man is seeing Igbo man from another, conception. We have failed. Federal government has failed. Federalism in Nigeria has failed. That this is not a federal state. I keep on saying it. The structure there is not federal. Everybody is supposed to go his separate way. Division. Biafra is forever. I'm a Biafra man.
All right, thank
anytime,
you so much.
anywhere.
We really appreciate you for joining us on today's edition of this program. Make sure you keep in touch with us next time on the same platform. I remain Michael Adekunle. Of course, the man behind the camera, Festus Oluwabukumi. You can join us on our social media handles displayed on your screen. You can also join me on Facebook, Michael Temitayo Adekunle, Michael Temitayo Adekunle. Have a good day, everybody.